Hello. As some of you may remember, for some reason, my name is Kyle Sanders. I am a senior psychology student and an academic mentor for human biology in 214. 5 years ago, I never would have guessed I'd hold a position like college mentor. I'd never held any sort of leadership position before, and being an academic mentor requires a lot of little nuances. Knowing how to talk to people, understanding subject material, keeping up with paperwork. At a glance, it seems like it would be a lot of work. And it is a lot of work. It takes a lot of time and effort to be an effective mentor, which is something I've learned in my 4 semesters of working with BEPCO. Now this is interesting for one reason. In my past, I was not known to put time and effort into things. Previously, I would have turned down the idea of being a mentor. It almost didn't seem worth applying. I wondered what I would get out of being a peer mentor. Is there more to gain from being a mentor than just putting it on a resume? That question is the focus of my story. During the semester, we read an article titled "A Qualitative Study of the Learning Process Outcomes Associated with Students Who Serve as Peer Mentors." While the title is a little bit of a mouthful, the article sought to define the position of mentor beyond the simplistic view of someone who helps someone. The article also wanted to examine the benefits of mentoring. More importantly, what could be gained from actually being a mentor. To find out, a study was conducted where undergraduate peer mentors were interviewed on their experiences in being a mentor. Some common themes were found in their answers. When they first started mentoring, the subjects did not really expect to gain anything from being a mentor. Of course, there was plenty to gain, which was reflected in their answers. Through being a mentor, the undergraduates in the study learned how to act appropriately in a socially diverse environment and grew to understand the proper ways to be a role model in their school. The subjects of the study formed learning networks with other mentors in order to share their most effective mentoring strategies, while supporting and encouraging each other. The mentors in the study also learned how to reflect on their own actions and their impacts on their university environment. They picked up greater organizational and planning skills in their time as a mentor, and learned how to identify and adapt to the unique needs and learning styles of individual students. Finally, the mentors felt that all of the skills they gained could be applied to their careers or their life as a whole. The findings in the study really resonated with me on a personal level, which is why I wanted to talk about it. As I said, I almost didn't apply to BEPCO because I wasn't sure if it would be worth my time, and I'm glad to have been wrong. Way back when I first started as a teeny tiny fledgling mentor, I was a disorganized mess. I had very little experience in cultural and socioeconomic diversity, and my awkward demeanor hindered my ability to network with peers. I had an understanding of what contributed to my own academic success, but I feared that my personal strategies wouldn't work for all of my mentees. On top of all that, I had never been in a so-called role model position. I mean, who would want to come to me for help on anything, let alone college-level biology? Are they insane? I started working with BEPCO over 2 years ago. It's been a long journey, but I wouldn't have gotten as far as I did without understanding at least a little bit about what makes an effective mentor. To become an effective mentor, I needed to think about how I could be a more effective person, if that makes sense. First, I examined my problems with approaching others and presenting myself. Over time, I gained invaluable organizational and networking skills by speaking to other more experienced mentors, working with the directors and coordinators, and reading about mentor effectiveness in our various UCall classes. I found that it was crucial to maintain a dialogue with other mentors and staff in order to share tips and ideas on how to handle all types of students and situations. That is the second big thing that BEPCO has taught me. I learned how to work with students of all different backgrounds and learning styles. I mean, there are an awful lot of different ways to mentor, and a lot of obstacles that can hinder a student's learning experience. BEPCO has taught me that mentoring can take place in a bigger classroom setting, or in a more personal tutoring environment. Mentoring can be simple lecturing, sharing class materials, or making brand new activities. It could be centered on group collaboration. It can involve speaking with students for an extended period of time, or involve asking 1 or 2 brief questions. It can involve me presenting material alone, or working in tandem with other mentors. Different students thrive in different environments, and it's important to find the best, most effective approach for any student seeking help. Beyond choosing a method, I learned that a mentor must also identify their desired outcome. What is a student going to get out of their mentoring? What are they learning from the information a mentor presents, and how are they learning it? Are they retaining information? What struggles might be keeping a student from performing their best? These are all questions we have to ask. The third and most important thing I learned about being a mentor is that you form some type of relationship with both your students and other mentors, no matter how close that relationship may be. In fact, the article I mentioned states peer influence as the most important factor affecting the educational experiences of college students. If a student has a bad experience with a mentor, they may choose not to seek help again. So it's important to establish an environment that will promote positive mentor-student interactions. As such, a mentor must understand how to connect with their students in a way that will promote their academic success. I came to understand that mentors must be approachable, knowledgeable, flexible, and most of all, respectful. So as I've said, BEPCO has been a unique experience in my life. Things have occasionally gotten difficult. I've had good and bad mentoring sessions, and there have been at least 24 occasions where I've made a fool out of myself in front of a classroom full of students. Sometimes all the work has been overwhelming. Still, mentoring has taught me more about myself than I ever would have guessed. Before being a mentor, I didn't have nearly as much of a direction in life. And I didn't have half as much self-confidence. I learned that I truly love helping other people, even if, heaven forbid, it takes time out of my day to do so. It's amazing working with students through a problem and seeing their faces light up when something finally clicks, and it's just as amazing hearing them say that they couldn't have done it without me. The appreciation I've received from my students has shown me I can really be a positive influence if I try my best. It gives me a certain feeling, a unique sense of self-respect I've never really gotten anywhere else. These experiences as a mentor have been invaluable to my academic career and my life as a whole. In fact, my mentoring position contributed to my decision to change majors. I wasn't happy working towards a radiation therapy degree, but I was very excited to be helping students succeed. I decided that after I graduate, I want to be a counselor, which is a job that requires everything I've discussed in my story. In fact, counselor and mentor are almost interchangeable words. Wow! Instead of helping my fellow students with potential problems in their academic career, I will be helping fellow people with potential problems in their entire life. To do that, a counselor needs a certain skill set. A certain skill set that I gained through being a mentor. And that's my story.